I think the guy who has more to prove is Biden. I think Trump is a known commodity. They know he's going to be an asshole. He's going to be lurking and growling and not obeying the rules and everything else. But Biden, they want to see proof of life.
Yeah. I see it a little bit more favorably for him because he's already shown that he can stand up and give a rousing talk when need be. So he just needs to show that he is sane.
Yeah.
There might need to be some amount of drug testing for both of the men, just because we never know what kind of amphetamines and steroids are going to be helping accelerate.
Really? Well,
All right, folks, so it unfortunately seems that my prediction on this has come true because as we discussed a couple of videos ago, this week, Joe Biden finally accepted Donald Trump's challenge to do televised presidential debates. And of course, most people looked at that and said, hallelujah, wow, Biden is actually going to come out of the basement and do some extra debates here. But as I predicted at the time, no, in many ways, this entire thing is a ploy to actually get Biden out of having to do real debates, right? It's kind of a circus debate, sort of a ploy. And just to quickly reemphasize some of the details from the last video here, why did I say that? Because I looked at the situation and it was this, okay? So first of all, the Biden campaign demanded that the debate be in a TV studio with no live audience. Of course, when you do the normal presidential commission debates that we've seen throughout the years, we know there's a live audience there. Biden, I don't know, he didn't want to be intimidated. There's a lot of people, they might freak out the circuits in his brain, whatever. No live audience. He also demanded that it has to be on CNN, ABC, CBS, or Telemundo, which of course that means high bias. He would only do these debates on a liberal network. And by the way, the debates that have been agreed to, one's going to be in June on CNN. The other is going to be in September on ABC. So obviously, not only are there biased networks there, but also notice they're doing the first debate in June. What did I say at the time? I said that is so far away from the presidential election that it's not going to matter, right? People are going to forget about it by the time November rolls around. And that is part of the devious Biden strategy here is, hey, I'm going to, bomb this debate, but at least people will forget about it by the time they go to vote. And so that was bad enough in itself. The mics have to cut off when the time is up. That's another detail here. But here's the big thing. Biden earlier this week only agreed to 2 presidential debates instead of the typical 3. Now, you might have looked at that at the time and said, well, aren't they still going to do the normal presidential debates? Like, aren't these extra debates? And I said at the time, no, I seriously doubt that, right? I bet you this is Biden's ploy to not have to do the regular presidential commission debates. He can just do these 2 and just run away with his tails between his legs there. And of course, one will be in June, so people will forget about that. Well, we have some new developments that are showing that's exactly what Joe Biden is doing, because since that agreement earlier this week, many of the different networks have reached out and said, hey, okay, you want to do the debate on us, on our network? Okay, let's schedule this. Here's an offer. Donald Trump has accepted basically all of the offers he has received, and one of those was from Fox in October, which of course makes sense, right? Hey, Biden gets CNN, Biden gets ABC. Can't Trump at least get Fox, even though Fox arguably is not even the most pro-Trump network, but sure, it's better than CNN. Okay, so Fox reached out, Telemundo also reached out, which would have reached, Hispanic voters and stuff like that. And as you can see here, Donald Trump did accept those debates. Check it out.
Say, remember that idiot from CNN? Oops, I shouldn't say that. I'm doing a debate for them. They'll be slightly tougher. No, I have fake Tapper. They said, I just want to debate this guy, but and I'm going to demand a drug test too. By the way, I am. No, I really am. I don't want him coming in like the State of the Union. He was high as a kite. I said, is that Joe up there? A beautiful robe? And by the end of the evening, he's like, well, it was exhausted, right? Now, we're going to demand a drug test, but Fake Tapper and these people, they're going to be fine. They're going to be fair. I think they're going to be fair. And if they're not, you have to deal with it, right? You have to deal.
And by the way, I absolutely agree Biden should be drug tested. I virtually guarantee he's at least on Adderall or Ritalin right before some of these things. But okay, so here we are, right? 2 accepted presidential debates by Biden. Trump has now accepted 4. You're thinking, are we at least going to get 3? That's the normal number of presidential debates. Well, check out the response from the Biden campaign. It is sadly very predictable here, folks. What have they done this week since the other offers have came into debate? Joe Biden has rejected additional debates against Donald Trump. And this is an article from NBC News saying both campaigns agreed to 2 debates this week. And the Biden campaign said it was not interested in 2 additional face-offs that Trump has accepted. Keep in mind, these are not random things that Trump has shot out of the air. In all of these cases, the networks have come to both campaigns and said, hey, we'll host your debate. And of course, Joe Biden is denying that. So President Joe Biden's campaign rejected 2 additional debates on Friday that former President Trump's campaign says it agreed to do. One was a proposal for a presidential debate hosted by NBC News and Telemundo, and the other was for a vice presidential debate hosted by Fox News at Virginia State University, which is a historically black college, okay? And so Donald Trump went out and said, I have accepted a 4th presidential debate against crooked Joe Biden, this time against NBC and Telemundo. It is important as Republicans that we win with our great Hispanic community who Biden has devastated with crippling inflation, high gas prices, crime in our streets, and border chaos, blah, 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 blah. You basically get the point. But this is the response here from the Biden campaign. They said, the debate about debates is over. A Biden campaign official said, no more games. Of course, yeah, that's exactly what this is, right? Political games, accepting presidential debates. Yeah, you expect at least 3 presidential debates like we normally get on basically every single year. How dare you? That's games. Trump is just playing politics. No, maybe, we're trying to demand here the normal presidential debates that you are ducking out of. You keep making all these stupid stipulations. You want to do one in June instead of the normal time, which is in the fall, during the election season. Folks, this is disgraceful. This is cowardly. Obviously, as I predicted, Joe Biden accepting Donald Trump's whole thing to do, hey, anytime, any place, Joe, is, pretending to be an act of toughness, but in all reality, it is an act of cowardice, okay? And one could maybe make the argument, I'm sure Donald Trump will be fine. If anything, I might actually make the argument that at this current moment in the election cycle, Joe Biden may need these debates more than Donald Trump. Why? Because he's losing in the polls, okay? And so historically, as some left-wing pundits have pointed out here, when you're the loser, you're in that case the one who wants to debate, and Joe Biden is taking the bold strategy here to avoid the debates.
I think this is a Hail Mary for Joe Biden. I think they know they are losing in the polls. The people disagree and disapprove of Joe Biden's handling of just about every single issue across the board. And so I think this is their shot. This is their Hail Mary to try to change the narrative. And I think in a way they're also setting up Joe Biden to possibly fail if he doesn't do well in the June debate. I mean, what's that say moving forward? Will they try to remove him and change horses in August?
Now, of course, we perfectly understand why. And it's the fact that Joe Biden is Joe Biden, right? We know he's going to struggle to do these debates. That's why they're trying to basically keep him in the basement for as long as possible. The campaign strategy seems to be, hey, let's kind of just fearmonger about January 6th and all this stuff and, just keep Joe Biden away because he sucks and nobody likes him, and that whole thing is not going to work. Now, that said, you know, the point I was making earlier is even though that sort of points out that, hey, Donald Trump will probably be fine anyway, even with these biased moderators, I would say that if the moderators get totally biased, that may also make Donald Trump look good, because then it's like, hey, the debate was, you know, the moderators were unfair. But still, regardless, my point here is maybe it was a trap all along, or in a way, the Biden campaign sort of played the Trump campaign in a very dirty way. And again, I'm not saying that it's going to screw over Donald Trump. I still think he'll be fine. But in many ways, it was kind of a trap, wasn't it? Because Donald Trump said, hey, debate me, Joe. Let's do some extra debates right now. Joe Biden comes along and says, hey, Jack, you want to debate? I'll do these 2 rigged debates already. Yeah, I'm a real tough guy. And then he runs away and says, oh, what about the normal 3 presidential debates we had originally scheduled? Nope, not going to do them. I don't know. Okay. That's why I say in some ways, maybe it's kind of a trap, this whole thing, whatever. But with that said, you know, the point I'll come back to, and the reason why I don't think it'll be the biggest deal, I don't think it's the end of the world, is again, because Donald Trump doesn't need these debates politically. He doesn't. It's Joe Biden who needs them. So, you know, something to consider from the Biden camp. With that said, folks, let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comment section down below. You know, do you think that Biden will at some point agree to a 3rd debate? Or do you think, like I've been saying, this is Biden's strategy to avoid doing any real debates that are not rigged against Trump, that are not biased, and are not, of course, ways away from the election? Let me know. Be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and until next time, Alpha moves only. God bless. Have a very great rest of your day, and peace.